Well, hi everyone. This month is March and it's Women's History Month, so I thought it was the perfect time to invite my mother on and to talk about the history of Ultimate Living and Hard Night Good Morning and Dee Simmons.
Yes.
And talk about your story, Mom, because really for Women's History Month, you think about women and their achievements.
Yes,
and you have achieved
yes.
so much, and I just want to remind people about your story because I think your story is so impactful and powerful. And actually today you joined me for a little bit on Heather Thompson's podcast.
Yes,
and we
wasn't
talked
that fun?
about your history and your story.
Yes,
So
yes.
let's just go back to the beginning because Ultimate Living was conceived in 1996. So we're 25 years old. And we have some kind of historical here before and after
We have a complete
looks at some of our
story.
products that we still have.
Yes,
but
we do.
Tell me about, in 1987, I was going to college. In March of 1987, I was turning 18 and you were, at the same time, had been diagnosed with breast cancer. So let's talk about that and then how Ultimate Living became conceived out of that.
Okay, well in 1987, I was a happy-go-lucky lady. I was very successful. I had a fashion showroom in New York. I had a major staff. And I mean, I was just blowing and going, doing trunk shows with all the majors, stores and everything all over the United States. Anyway, I went to the doctor for just something else, just a routine checkup. And of course, your dad, men are always gone when an emergency happens. Dad was in Germany, the company, and I don't know where you were at that time.
I was a teenager. And by the way, since you talked about fashion, that's where I got my love of spending money from my mother, who was a manufacturer's representative for all these luxury lines.
Yes.
So trust me, I come about it honestly.
Yes,
she created the
does.
monster.
She did. I did. Anyway, I went to the doctor for a routine checkup, and I was getting off the examining table, and he said, "Dee, lay back down." I said, "Why?" And it was the same doctor actually that delivered Deandra. Can you believe that? Dr. Godat. And he said, "I want to check your breast." And I said, "Oh, no. This is March. You don't check my breast in March. Dr. Godat, you know good and well. I have my mammogram. I'll be having coming up really soon. And I go in May, to Coleman." He said, something told him to check my breast. I mean, I was really kind of mad. I laid down, couldn't go ahead and check my breast. And the next thing I knew, he looked at me and he said, "How long has this lump been here?" I said, "Lump?" I looked at it. I could see it. It was so obvious. It was like about the size of a big pecan or something. And I said, "Well, I guess it came up from the time I left my house till I drove over here." Is that stupid or what?
Well, I think
I was in shock.
I think that tells a story. Sometimes we as women don't pay attention. We get caught up in the other things we're doing.
I hadn't been doing
We
self-examination.
forget self-care. And I think that tells a lesson now about how important it is to stay in touch with your body. I know because of your experience, I'm much more in touch with my body.
Much more.
And anything that happens, and I'm heightened, my awareness is heightened. So,
But your generation is. See, my generation, they were not. I was 47 years old at the time. And so I said, "Oh my goodness." And he said, "Get up, get your clothes on, and I'm taking you." And he named a real famous physician that I knew was a cancer doctor. I thought, what in the world? I'd had lumps and bumps before, biopsies. So I didn't like that either. And I remember getting in my car with my cell phone. That's when cell phones were kind of just coming out. And said, "I can't believe he's making me do this." So he called this real famous doctor, who you know, and he said, "I'm coming over with Dee Simmons. I know you probably have 80 people in your reception room, but I want you to check her right now." So we went over, and they took me in a room, and he said, "You need a biopsy immediately." Daddy, like I said, was in Germany. And I said, "Well, I can't do this now. I don't have time." And they said, "No, you have to do it now." So I said, "Okay, I'll make a deal with you." And it was on a Monday. And I said, no, it was a Tuesday. And I said, "My husband's coming back Friday, and you have to do this before he comes back because I don't want him to know about it." Like, can you imagine? So what they did, they were able to get what we call the Surgery Center in Dallas to open up. They opened to start their surgeries at 7 o'clock. They opened at 6 o'clock. And I remember going in that morning, and your grandmother and granddad, my parents, went with me, and my pastors were there. And I thought, what are all these people coming in? Just, I'm just going to get this little check. And I was also going to have another procedure, a female procedure. It's called C&D at the time.
DNC.
DNC, yeah, C&D. DNC, whatever. See, things have changed. And Deandra, I remember so vividly waking up, and Dr. Godat, who delivered you, was standing over me, and the breast surgeon was in the corner. He had his head down like this. And Dr. Godat was crying. He said, "Oh, Dee, honey, you have breast cancer, but I'm going to help you get well." And the only reaction I had, now this is the weird thing, because of what I've been doing for the last, all these years of my life, that's been 34 years, I had one little tear that came down the side of my face. And I said, "Oh no, I'm going to inconvenience people." Can you imagine thinking that? So I got up, got dressed. Dad's assistant called him, said, "You need to come home. Dee doesn't feel well." And that's when the plane that flew, what was it?
Concorde.
The Concorde. He got on the Concorde.
They don't have that anymore. Yeah.
No. He says, squeakiest whole thing you'd ever heard. But he got on the Concorde and he flew home. And I remember vividly, he walked in the room, grandmother was with me at midnight. Of course, I was dressed, full makeup, like I was going to just welcome this husband in, with open arms. And he walked in the bedroom, and that's when we lived in the other house, had the sunken bedroom, I said, "Oh, guess what, Glenn? I've got some news." And he said, "I really thought, okay, Deandra's done something. We bought a new house. We've got new cars. We've got new pets. You guys don't understand. I just kind of did whatever I wanted to do. Glenn let me get by with that." And I said, "I have breast cancer." And he just kind of sunk down like a marshmallow, And he said, "When did you find out?" I said, "Oh, this morning." And he said, "Okay, in the morning, I will go to my office," which was going to be a Saturday. "I will close my desk. I will never go back to work until you're well." And that's exactly what he did. And the next day, because of the connections that we did have, we went to this famous doctor's office. And your dad said he couldn't accept that. Because your dad was the type that could pick up the phone and solve every problem, everything. And so he walked in this doctor's office on a Saturday, which no one else was there. And he explained it. And Daddy said, he said, "What if we don't do anything?" And he said, "Your wife will be dead in 2 years." So Daddy then started getting lists of all the famous breast places to go all over the world. We had every one of them. He said, "I'm going to take it here, 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 here." He said, "Okay, I think that's great, Mr. Simmons, that you can afford to do this." But he made an appointment back then with Nancy Brinker. Nancy Brinker started Susan G. Komen. And we went out to her house. And she talked with us. She's a great counselor. And Glenn said, "I'm taking Dee." He had this whole list.
Probably Mayo, MD Anderson, every place. Yeah.
Sloan
Kettering.
Kettering, that was one of them. And she looked at him and she said, "Glenn, I respect the fact that you can do this with Dee, but why not keep her in Dallas under this doctor who's the best, in my opinion, in the world?" It was her doctor too. And that made sense because I would be with my family, my friends, going through all different things. So that began my journey in 1987.
And then following that, you ended up having surgery. You had a modified radical mastectomy. So on the one
Followed
side.
by
reconstruction. And then I remember my mother started this really intense desire to learn why she became ill. And you had been so healthy. I mean, size 4, picture of health, ate whatever she wanted, never got sick. The only thing you really had was asthma. And you didn't understand because you always felt good. You were so vivacious.
Oh, I had so much energy.
Had so much energy.
Yes.
Why you became ill? So you said, "Okay, I have this assistant that helps me with my business. I'm going to close that business. She can run it right now, and I'm going to travel the world. And by the way, Deandra, you're going to go with me." And I was like, "Really? What?" Because I was going to college. I mean, I wasn't really into all that right at that moment. But I did go to some experiences with my mother. I remember we went to Bucket, Massachusetts, to this person who was world famous nutritionist.
Famous.
And he ended up disappearing. every few minutes. And we thought, what's going on?
Remember how he looked at our hands?
He looked at your hands and your face and your eyes, and we were on his special diet, which made me blow up like a big fat whale, made her real skinny. So anyway, we're on the special diet, but then the man disappeared and kept coming back, and Mother decides, because she's very curious, just like me, to go after him, and he was outside smoking Pale Male cigarettes on the porch, so we decided to get back in the car and go back on the plane, and that was the end of that situation.
And every week we did a different,
We went to
I would plan the
Tijuana.
journey,
Yeah.
where we're going. And Glenn, and we had, of course, a plane, and poor Glenn, he'd say, I know, but this is where my wife wants to go. And we put dinner in the back of the plane. Now you're going to go too. You got to go too. And we'd go.
Herbalist, nutritionist.
You know, the neat thing, though, let me
everything.
tell you, Dan, the neat thing about this story is so many women search when there's really not anything at the end of that tunnel. See, I had the money, thank God. I could afford to do that. So when they would say, oh, I'm going to go do this, you know, see the turkeys fly like we did with the guy smoking the cigarettes. I say, oh, I already done that. That was so many thousands of dollars. I already done that already. So see, I was able to be the one out there on the crusade. I had done lead trail. I'd done lifestyle therapy. I had done everything you can think of. So I could say to so many, these precious people that really didn't have any money, Mrs. Jones or whatever, don't do that. I've already done that. I became, out of what happened to me, I became very knowledgeable, you know, because wisdom is what it's all about.
And
And
then
I
you
knew I
became-
had to take charge of my life.
Yes, and you became an advocate for not only allopathic medicine, so that would be surgery or chemotherapy or whatever, you know, the doctor recommends, but also integrative, complementary,
All of them.
alternative medicines. So we found out that if you are going through treatment, there's a way to kind of pair an adjunct therapy with like a green food product or an antioxidant product or another nutrition supplement or another, you know, different kind of work that's maybe some people think is out there, not so much anymore, but back then people thought we were kind of, you know, a little bit strange.
Yeah, we were really.
But what I love about what my mother has done, and the reason that I've continued her legacy and her mission and her vision and her passion, which are the three things that she's always instilled in me: mission, vision, and passion. If you don't have mission, vision, and passion, then you really don't have a leg to stand on. And I think it's really important on Women's History Month to ask
Yes.
yourself, if you're a woman, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a mom, whatever it is, what are you passionate about? What is your mission in life? What is your vision? Is it to help others, like my mother's vision was? Is it to, you know, be on a reality TV show? Is it to, what drives you? And focus on that, because a lot of us are unhappy because we get up every day and we do something we don't really have our stakes.
We're in routines.
Yeah, we're in a routine. But what I love about that, what I'm saying that is my mother then decided, okay, I'm taking a lot of supplements. She was juicing at about $2,500 a month or something, plus paying a person to come to the house and juice. All these fruits and vegetables.
Those are things I had to learn, Deandra.
Yeah.
Because see, when I was diagnosed, the first thing I thought was, okay, I'm going to find out why I have cancer. And I remember the doctor saying something. We never say this to patients now. I work with hundreds of patients. They said, you don't have one characteristic of breast cancer. Now, what do you mean a characteristic? Well, they said you're thin, you're vivacious, your personality. We don't really see that. Normally, we see a different type of woman. We do not do that today because that's not true. But I knew it was my responsibility. It wasn't Daddy. It wasn't Daddy's money. It wasn't anyone we knew. I had to take charge. Did I want to live or did I want to die? I had a young daughter. I had a wonderful husband. I wanted to live. So that's when I really began my journey. And let me tell you, it wasn't an easy journey. It was a difficult journey. But many times in life, the things that we really want to achieve and accomplish, they can be a difficult journey. But I'm here today to tell you, honey, I was successful. So that's what
And
matters.
I want you to go from that until the inception. So mother, and she dragged me along to some of these companies she worked for as a spokesperson, as a developer. And then one day she just said, I should just be making my own products.
Yes.
Because she knew about the quality, she knew about the standards, she knew what she wanted to put into her body to help her live healthy, vitality, longevity, everything to prevent degenerative disease and
To build my
to
immune
build
system.
your immune system. And so you didn't think you were going to get it working with somebody else, did you?
Did not. But do you remember? Let's think about this. You know, the first product I developed, I really believe that's what helped save my life. Okay, who told me about that first product? Think about it.
Oh goodness, I don't know.
Do you
The one that
remember?
was in the drawer?
Just a minute. when I came home from the hospital, I still had my robe on. I went to the kitchen, I opened up a drawer, and there was a story, and it said, "Green food saved my life." And I thought, where did that come
You
from?
didn't know where you got it from. I think
I
God put it in the
had
drawer.
never seen that in my life. And it was just like a list, And I got that out and I started reading and reading. I found the lady's name. You know me, I'm going to just keep on. And I found her number. Now, it wasn't in there. I did my research and I called her, and she talked about how green foods, how she had cancer, and green foods changed her life so that it saved her life. And that began my journey.
And back then there was one product and it was one green food.
And all it had was 2 ingredients.
Yeah, so you decided to make a comprehensive product with more than one green food and fruits and vegetables, things to build your immune system. So talk about being the first woman to create a comprehensive, full spectrum green food product.
Okay, so during this time, like Deandra mentioned, yes, I was doing that one green food. However, I was taking I really was spending $2,000 a month just at the health food store. Now, I became kind of well known as the woman that was a little bit different making this journey. So doctors would call me up and they would say, "Are you by yourself?" "Yeah." "What is a free radical? What's an antioxidant? What's all these things?" So I got so busy, Deandra, with people calling me that's when Sharon came to work for me. And I had a Rolodex with 1,000 women that would just call me. I would talk. I would start early in the morning and go till 10 o'clock at night. I'd be so tired. And I said to your dad, "I don't know why I'm telling about all these things I take. Who can afford $2,000 a month?" Deandra, this was 34 years ago. There was a lot of money, still a lot of money. So it just hurt my heart because of the fact that these women could not afford it. They couldn't, maybe one product they could afford. So I remember telling your dad, when I get well, and I believe God is going to heal me, I'm going to make a product with everything in it of all the stuff I take. Because, think about it. I was just taking, under our staircase, I just had products. It looked like a grocery store. Okay, then after I did that, I learned about juicing, because juicing is it's so healing. And we bought the most expensive juicer in the whole world. They had them really, they were using them in Switzerland in spas. And Dad bought one for me. And then we had to hire a full-time lady. She went every day to the health food store. There was only one at the time. I don't know if you remember it or not. And she would buy all this fresh produce, organic. She would come to the house. She would wash it. She would chop it. She would juice it. And because I had been studying, you need to drink it in about 10 minutes. So, she just would make juice. Well, I had to pay her, And that's when I said to Daddy, he said, "Now, what is all this money? What is all this?" I said, "Well, you don't think she's coming up here free and juicing, do you?" And then on Saturday and Sunday, my sweet little husband would juice. He would. And I would drink all this juice. And then I got into that diet. You told me that the guy smoking the cigarettes. But anyway, I did build my immune system back up, and I began to feel good. I was probably too thin. I got down to a size 0, and I was a 5'8". But I began to get my energy back. And I knew that I wanted to teach other people how they too could take charge of their life. Because, we can sit here all day long and talk about what we're going to talk about, but unless you make the move, it will not change.
So let's talk about, we have some
Okay.
historical kind of products here. We have our product history from the beginning to what we
Yes.
have now. So Green Miracle, this is what Green Miracle used to look like.
Used to look like.
Yeah, that
I
was
made it.
created in 1996, and that was the only product my mother had, one product. And how many years did you have the one product, Mom?
Many years probably. Because you remember, I had to buy, I didn't even have a customer when I made this. And I had to buy, the first order, they let me get by with 1,000. Who am I going to sell them to? I didn't even have a computer. I was on a telephone. I sold all that stuff. I sold $1 million worth in 1 year on the phone. So this product, I called it Green Miracle. Green Miracle changed my life by saving my life. I really believe that with my whole heart. And it was all the green phytonutrients, the great mushrooms, everything was organic, the fruits, the vegetables, everything to build that immune system and to give you strength and to be able to help you get well to overcome that disease that you had.
And really, my mother called it a health food store in a can.
Health food store in a
Because if
can.
you were not going to take anything, but you needed one supplement, this is a product, and this is what it looks like today.
Yeah,
so we've
yeah,
changed
you've
our
updated,
website and our
yes.
labels and everything. But this is one product. If you were just going to take one thing, because you just
You can
don't
only do
wanna,
one thing.
Your fruits, your vegetables, your phytonutrients has a comprehensive amount of green foods. It has everything from spirulina to it has the barley grass. We have the alfalfa,
The chlorella.
We have chlorella. We have all the green foods that you would need. And then, as my mother said, because we're trying to help people build their immune system, we've got those mushrooms that are so important: the reishi, the maitake, the cordyceps. We have also astragalus, and we have milk thistle, things that will detoxify your liver and your organs.
A lot of enzymes, Dan.
A lot of enzymes and fiber. So this is a whole food product. It'll give you all your fruits and vegetables, also the phytonutrients and green foods. And the reason it's so important, and the way I do it, a lot of people do differently. My husband and I have a smoothie in the morning or a green drink. You can put it in water. It tastes delicious now because I've given it a little vanilla flavoring to it. You can put it in juice. You can put it in smoothie. We do some frozen fruits and vegetables. Jeremy likes to put banana. It just depends on what you like to do, but it doesn't taste bad. Some of my friends just stick it in a shaker and just put some water in it, and they're ready to go for the day.
Well, years ago when we first started making, it tastes like grass because it was grasses, But you realize when you're going through cancer, I always told Deandra I could drink motor oil. I mean, I want to get well, I want to feel good. So what you've done, you've taken something and made it much more sophisticated, but it still really works. In fact, it works better, Deandra, because you put more in it.
And it's certified organic, 100% organic. So this is the pillar of both of our businesses, Ultimate Living and Hard Night Good Morning. And it's our flagship product. It's our anchor product. It's our number one selling product, and it probably always
will be. And we're known all over the world. Deandra and I could live. We used to do television all the time. We could get on an airplane, walk down the aisle of the airplane, and they say, "Oh, there's the Green Miracle ladies." That's what we were known. And to this day, I've had people come up to me and say, "I love Green Miracle." I told you about Monty called me and said, "I love Green Miracle. It's just, I take it every day. I feel so good." Everyone that takes this product really loves it.
And you're going to be getting, so the way you feel, you'll have, vitality.
Yes.
You'll have energy. You will be
Have
detoxifying.
stamina.
Now, you
Your
may detoxify
clarity.
a bit, but
Yes.
you're detoxifying all that junk out of your organs. You'll have stamina, clarity, mental acuity will be better. You will probably start eating better
Yes.
because your body will be attuned to different foods than you were craving before.
You won't crave, Deandra, the sugars.
Yes, and this is the old can. It has the seal of approval by the Diabetes Resource Center, which means it's a good food for diabetics to consume. We still have that approval. We just don't have the little sticker on it anymore. But this is the product that started it all. And if you could do one thing, still to this day, everybody should have a green food products, because one of the things, we also have a mineral product, which is kind of one of our second or third products, and an aloe. But the reason is because if you eat, say, I eat very well. I eat all organic.
She does. She does.
Eat, if you're telling me, well, I don't need that because I eat really healthy. Well, it's great for you to eat healthy, even if you grow your own vegetables. But the soil that we have now is so minerally deplete. You're not getting the nutrients, you're not getting the vitamins, you're not getting the minerals from the foods that you're buying in a store. Most people do have to go to a store and buy foods. So it's really important to supplement your diet with a product like a Green Miracle that is going to give you all the things that your cells need. We make this and literally we flash freeze it immediately. It's right in the used to be a can.
The temperature doesn't.
It's in this canister in literally less than 2 hours. So you have those enzymes that are fresh, the green foods that are fresh. Nothing is dying. It's all live food. We actually now, I do something a little different than when Mother had the company. I test all of my products for vibrational frequency. So that means, is the product alive? And is it going to be able to work in your body? If you have a dead product and you put it on a vibrational machine, it's not going to have any frequency. And this product does. So I test all of our products now whenever we make them with a naturopath who tests them for frequency, so I know that they work. Plus you feel that they work. So
I want to say something about this product. It's really important, because one of my large accounts, even before Deandra joined me, was a major hospital chain. I can't say what it is, but it was, trust me, it's big. And this was so popular among their patients that the gentleman that really was the president, they built a store of just my products. I had other products at that time. But one day, they would take this, Deandra, and they would give it to their cancer victims, and I've seen them feed them, with the tubes with it. And one day they called me and they said, Mrs. Simmons, we've got to tell you something. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, what's happened? And they said, did you realize that Green Miracle works on insulin levels, and that our patients with diabetes are overcoming diabetes?
They're getting better, yeah.
See what I'm saying? And I said, what do you mean? They said, well, we've also found that a large majority of cancer patients also have diabetes. They have insulin level problems. So isn't that neat? That was 2 for 4. I built it to build the immune system because of that, and they're saying, oh, this is wonderful for diabetes.
The other thing too is if you're getting chemotherapy, we've had a lot of people
Yes.
that take this at the same time, and it really helps keep their blood levels, the red blood cells, healthy. So they are able
they can
to
have their treatments.
have their treatments and keep their their blood up and their blood healthy at the same time. Very important. So you can take it when you're having treatment. You can take it if you're a child. We have people that give it to their children in a little smoothie or a little sippy cup.
Applesauce.
Sauce is a great way to take it. In addition to that, you're asking how much do we take a day? There's a little scoop in here, and you just take one scoop. Now, if you have a child, of course they're going to take a quarter of that. But start them on that, and then see how they do. But I think if you haven't tried Green Miracle, you're missing out. It's a wonderful product, and it really built our business. So.
Green Miracle is a way to get your fruits and vegetables for the day. Think about little Johnny or little Susie. I guarantee you they're not getting 5 to 7 fruits and vegetables a day. They're going through the fast food after school or kindergarten. You've got to do this, guy. You want to start your children when they're young.
You can put it in baby food too. Besides applesauce, you can put it in their baby food. So this is
another way to really
hide.
hide it is in salads. If your children eat salads, it's great in salad. I have another mother.
And salad dressing. I like to make it with salad
But
dressing.
the lady that told us she puts it in ketchup. Lord help me.
No, I wouldn't have ketchup's probably not the. So
Anyway.
this is the before and this is the after. This is today where our company is. Minerals also. This is the before. Ionic Trace minerals are another what I call
Must.
pillar. So we have 3 products that is kind of like the starter kit. It would be Green Miracle, it would be the minerals, and then it would be our aloe. This is what aloe used to look like, and this is what aloe looks like today. And the reason we call these the 3 pillars, the aloe, the ionic trace mineral, and the green foods, is because really your minerals have to be ionic, number 1, to penetrate the cell wall. Most people are minerally deficient, as I explained before, because they're not having the minerals from their foods or fruits and vegetables. So you take this, you take the green foods, which is the phytonutrients, and the aloe, which helps with digestion and absorption of all your nutrients.
Oh,
And the 3 of those together kind of give you the foundation of nutrition. That's what we called it, the foundation of nutrition. Now, we used to make a bunch of things, but I decided to really, when I took the company over a few years ago, to go back to what the basis of our success was, which is proprietary formulas. So I kind of took everything out that wasn't something
You
that
really
other people,
tailored it down.
I tailored it down. So we don't make a D or a calcium or a B. We
have it
basically-
incorporated.
We
in
have
what-
things that are our particular formulas. So this is another product that is a great seller, and I took the top off this
Great
week.
seller.
It's our antioxidant formula. I think, in my opinion, it's one of the most essential and important things that anyone can take. In fact, I'm in the middle of changing this bottle out. It's going to look a little bit different, but have the same label. And this gives you like your acai, it gives you your cherry extract, it gives you your goji berries, the mangosteen, all of the things that the green tea, everything that's good for not only improving your ORAC, oxygen radical absorbance capacity, which is your antioxidant level, but also to help with inflammation in the body. Inflammation is a very big indicator of disease.
Sickness.
If you have high homocysteine, that's an inflammation marker, and that's a precursor to heart disease or any cardiovascular diseases. So the antioxidant formula also helps with mental acuity. It helps with, I said inflammation, arthritis, joint pain. There's so many things. It helps with your homocysteine levels. So this is a product that I think is extremely important for people to take. I take just 1 little ounce in the afternoon.
It tastes good
Gives
too.
me energy. It tastes kind of like grape juice or something. And then some other products. This is a brand new product, and have you even tried this?
No,
yet?
I haven't. It's brand
this
new.
is so new that Mother hasn't even tried it. And this is something I developed called LKB, liver, kidney, bladder support. And I had COVID over Christmas and decided that it's really important for me to detox my liver, kidney, and bladder because Otherwise, you're going to have junk backed up, whether it's stuff they gave me in the hospital, the medical doctors, or just my organs trying to filter through the virus. So this is an amazing product, and it works with cytoredoxin coupling. So it's a redox coupling antioxidant, which means that basically it's helping you methylate better, which is giving you the ability to absorb nutrients, to filter your body in order to make sure that everything else in your body is working the way it should be. It's almost like a catalyst like this is to really work on everything in your body. Historically, here's another funny one. We don't have this anymore, but we used to have a children's product called Focus for Kids. And this was a product that kids took to help with ADD, with their mental acuity, with focus. And it was based on the green food product that we had. But now kids take the green foods they do it usually when they're going off to school. Their mom will give them the green foods in a smoothie, and sometimes they don't even know, they just think it looks cool. So, and then we have, we had our weight formula, which actually looks like, where is it now? We have here. This is the new weight formula. And we're always trying to work on new products, better products, what works best, and this is the old. So, we've really changed. The reason I wanted to kind of do this is just to show you how much we're changing and trying to keep up to date.
Cutting edge.
Then we have, so this is so funny, Mother. We used to do a newsletter when people read newsletters.
But
they were not online.
And we wrote them too. We did.
And we wrote them. This is my mother with her red wig. Andy would love this.
Oh, I found it last night in the closet. And I thought, oh my gosh.
And this is called Health and Wellness. And then here's me with my goofy hair.
Let's see what you look like, goofy.
Yeah,
you
my
look
goofy
kinda
hair.
Goofy.
So this is kind of talks about, we would have people that would do testimonials. We would talk about different products. We would have interviews. Like here's an interview with a doctor on better health. So that's kind of just some history of Ultimate Living. This is our old catalog, as you can tell. I mean, it is, talks about mission.
So there's all my products. Look, all the series.
Yes, we had all these products back then. And now we are building new products all the time. But like I said, I'm taking it down to proprietary formulas that are unique to us. So just wanted to share with you some of the history of Ultimate Living. Now we moved from that to, I think the next one was this catalog.
Yes.
We don't really do, I don't think we even do catalog anymore.
We
got to the internet now. And then this catalog, and then finally we had this one. But, if you're interested in that kind of thing, if you like to read material, we have some material, but mostly it's on the internet now. We have 2 brand new websites, Ultimate Living and Hard Night Good Morning. And because of my mother, this is a product that I have to bring it to.
Okay,
this
just
is so funny.
before we go on, I want to say something. What Deandra has done is very wise, because if you get up in the morning and you've got to take 22 things, you're not going to do it. See, that's where I wanted to make this for everything. I wanted to cover everybody's needs. She's really consolidated all this and made it into a slimline program. It's so easy. You just do it just like that all together. I wanted to say that.
Now this product, we never changed this label. I mean, this label was like this forever and ever, and this is 20-something years old.
I can't believe you're really changing that.
We did change it. It's on the website. You will see it is a hot pink color. Now, this is called Harmony Cream. The reason I kept this in the product line, it's very popular among women who have PMS, who have menopause, who have headaches, who have hot flashes, who have cramps, bloating, anything like that. And what you do is you just take it and you transdermally move it around. You can put it on the inside of your wrist, you can put it on your buttocks, you can put it on your breast, you can put it on your neck, any place there's soft tissue. But if you go on to Ultimate Living, you will see this has a hot pink label and a new bottle.
Guys, this works so good. And that's because the raw materials that Dan has put in here, you don't understand. Everything is bought in what we call a kilo. A kilo is about the size of a brick. And you can buy like one ingredient, maybe $40 a kilo, but if you get the very best, you may pay $400. Do you remember that? And that's what we did. We pride ourselves in doing things. We want it to be effective. We want it to work. We want you to be happy. This product, I can't tell you how many doctors used to sell this product when I was in the business. It's amazing. And men have it. In fact, the girl that used to do my nails, she would have one sitting right here when you went in to get your nails done. And I said something one time, and she said, well, in the afternoon when women come in to get their manicures or pedicures, they all have tension headaches. And you can take it and just kind of rub it in here, and it
has like wild yam, black cohosh, Vitex, chase
but
tree.
But it's a pharmaceutical grade. Guys, there's a difference. and a food grade and a pharmaceutical grade. Big difference.
And of course, Aloe is our delivery system, and we always use that. And then this is funny, Mom. This was the pain cream that
I
we
love
had,
that label too.
and this is the one currently, but this is not the actual
Now, is
label.
that changed too?
It's going to be changed,
Oh.
and so if you're awaiting the pain cream because you love it, we've added CBD. It should be here probably in April. And we're real excited about it because it's even more effective, but it does have a new label too. So I
didn't
can't remember. I
even
think
know
it's
that.
probably red. I think it's red for pain. But Mom, I've enjoyed this so much, talking about the history in Women's History Month and how this company started, and then I'm continuing on your legacy and your vision, and just making new products for a brighter future, but also taking the strength and the knowledge I gained from watching you to move forward into the next century. So thank you for what you've taught me. Thanks for being here today.
Well, and now you're teaching me. That's what you want your children to do. You want to teach your children when they grow up, but you want to pass that on to them, and then they turn around and they teach their parents. See, that's what it's all about.
And we encourage you to go to ultimateliving.com.
Yes.
Also, you can reach out to us on Instagram and send us a message about your health and wellness, and we'll be glad to answer it. So,
we do.
Mama D Simmons, MommaDeesimmons, answers all of her own direct messages.
I certainly do.
And Deandra Simmons, you can find me at DeandraSimmons, and I will, if I don't see it, somebody on my team will see it, and I'll be answering it for you. So feel free to ask questions. You can also go to hello@ultimateliving.com, and I will see those emails. I'm glad to talk to you about your health and wellness or your skincare, whatever issue that you want to discuss. We are here for you. So, Mom, we've had so much fun. I would love for you to come back and talk with me a little bit more about skincare.
Okay.
And
well, actually, that's another story, because you're the one that came to me, remember?
Yes.
About skincare, because everybody said, "What are you putting on your skin?" And I said, "We're talking about nutrition. Don't talk about our skin." And you pushed me into that. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So we'll come back and we'll talk about Hard Naked Morning, where it is today, and how I came about with those products. But Mom, thank you so much.
Yes, I enjoyed it. Okay, honey, love you too.
And we want to say to you, Happy Women's History Month.
Yes, yes.